Zelensky of Ukraine is causing a global shock. He needs more troops. He wants recruits from HIV positive people, people with neurodegenerative diseases, meaning, of course, things like MS, and mental illnesses. And he's asking for 160,000 refugees to come back to Ukraine. He also simplified the health requirements for paratroopers and Marines. Ukraine has completely collapsed. A few hours ago, Volodymyr Zelensky, by decree, enlists from HIV positive people to people with neurodegenerative diseases and mental illnesses. The list causes global shock as it shows the degree of genocide of a people. We're no longer talking about whether Ukraine has reached its limits, but about a total collapse. War News 24/7 information is unfortunately confirmed and far exceeds even the most optimistic estimates. Everyone enlists. From students, postponements for a second degree are cut, to thousands of refugees who left the country already. Zelensky changed the entire list of those subject to general conscription, according to Podolyak. New recruitment of 500,000 men in Ukraine. They are from new brigades with 17-year-olds, men over 50, those who fled abroad, and even disabled people. The general recruitment, they invite HIV positive people, people suffering from Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, etc. Ukrainian military offices will begin mobilizing men who are of limited fitness for military service. Amendments were made to the regulations for the military medical examination in the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Order of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine number 402, by a new order of the main military department dated August 18, 2029, force on August 25th. According to the order, the list of diseases has been updated to assess the fitness of military personnel. Now recruits with the following diseases listed in the list of articles will be considered fit for service. We're talking about Articles 2C, 4C, 5C, 12C, 13C, 14C, 17C, 21C, 22C. Those with limited ability will be fully qualified for a specific military specialty by decision of Ukraine military leadership. The list of diseases that are no longer ground for recognizing a Ukrainian as unfit for military service: C2, 2C, clinically cured tuberculosis; C4, viral hepatitis with minor dysfunction; C5C, asymptomatic HIV; 13C, disease of endocrine system with minor malfunctions; 14C, mild short-term painful manifestations of mental disorders; 17C, neurotic, stress-related, and somatoform disorders, phobic anxiety, obsessive-compulsive, adaptive, somatoform, and other neurotic disorders; neurasthenia, reactions to severe stress, with moderate short-term manifestations; 21C, slowly developing disease of central nervous system. We're talking about here things like multiple sclerosis; 22C, episodic and paroxysmal disorders. Slowly progressive diseases of the central nervous system include neurodegenerative diseases, a group of fatal diseases of the nervous system in which there is a progressive death of neurons in the brain. You're talking about MS here. This is ridiculous. You know, one thing that MS, if you have stress, for example, and anxiety, it brings on an attack, and you can actually die from that. So what are these people actually doing here? What are they trying to do here? The most common are Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and multiple sclerosis. They also simplified the health requirements for paratroopers and Marines. Even the health requirements for traditionally elite military units have been simplified. On August 25th, other changes introduced by Decree number 456 of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine entered into force, which provide for the simplification of requirements for surface and airborne assault units, Marines, air assault units, infantry special forces units, as well as special forces of the Navy. The decision of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine to call up people with limited ability indicates a severe shortage of personnel at the front. Recruiting individuals with medical limitations is more likely to place a greater burden on military units than the shortage of personnel in the Ukraine army becomes catastrophic. Adults are finished. Zelensky recruits 16 to 17-year-olds, children and guardians of people with disabilities, information for the disabled. This is genocide. They're asking also for 160,000 refugees who went to Germany. Ukrainian conscripts who left the country with forged certificates of unfitness for service may be extradited to their homeland, revealed the head of the Servant of the People faction in Verkhovna Rada, Ukraine, David Arahamia. Earlier, a number of sources reported that the president of Ukraine had already formally raised the issue with the German authorities. According to the German Interior Ministry, cited by the German tabloid Bild, after the start of the special military operation of the Russian Federation, more than 160,000 refugees entered Germany from Ukraine. The German publication emphasizes that, in this case, it is only about those who are subject to conscription. These are more soldiers from half of the Ukrainian army at this time, and according to the German media, the German government is in no hurry to satisfy the request of the Ukrainian President Zelensky, as well as the authorities of Poland and the Baltic countries, to which Zelensky addressed the same request. So he's asking for people that have left Ukraine to return to Ukraine to serve in the military. This is by War News 247. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.